When I was 12 years old, I was really shy. I was just a normal little girl, that was just like excited about middle school.
When I first saw Gloria, I wasn't sure if she was a high school student or what. But once she opened her mouth, I was very impressed.
The assumptions that I've made when I was younger of students that would get in trouble, it would just be that they were bad. I never gave it any thought. But in reality, when something is going on, there's way more underneath that's causing this to happen.
Many of the young people that I've worked with are young people that are facing and have faced major trauma in their lives. We see an increasingly younger group of people being targeted and criminalized.
2483, go ahead.
There was this guy, he would always want to cut me in the lunch line. At first I would let him, but then it got to where they weren't asking, they would just always do it. One day I was like, no, you can't. Then before I even realized, he swung at me. Some of my friends just started fighting this guy. Other people came and they started fighting. So then everyone was fighting. I remember being so afraid that I couldn't even breathe. There was just so much commotion. The only way to get out was to climb the fence. I ended up getting caught by a school police officer. He was like, we know it's you. We know that you're the one that started all of this. And then he told me that he had to handcuff me because he needed to set an example out of me. And I just remember, like, I was so scared. I wanted to cry. I was just thinking, like, damn, my mom is gonna be so upset at me.
The literature teaches us, as soon as you have contact with law enforcement, you're more likely to end up in prison.
I was actually labeled as a troublemaker. I got a $500 ticket. I was transferred to another school. I didn't have any friends. It made me think that something was wrong with me for speaking up.
Many folks of color in schools are being convinced, and eventually they internalize the idea that they are the reason for their failure.
I remember a counselor meeting with me and I explained to her what had happened. And she was like, oh, that's not true. I'm pretty sure you just don't like school. And I was like, no, I was okay until this happened. She just told me, like, you're already going down that path of being bad. You're going to be incarcerated.
Much of the issues with the school-to-prison pipeline revolve around the zero-tolerance policies. The literature demonstrates that zero-tolerance policies don't actually work. They push kids out of school. They create environments that make them not want to be there.
The next school I was going to, they already assumed that I was going to be like a problematic child. That kind of made me feel like, why am I even here?
Gloria was one of the lucky ones. A lot of students that are pushed out and suspended or expelled and moved to different schools, they never bounce back.
If I could just see them all over and explain to them, I think that they would have made a whole nother choice. The solution was to have counselors come in and talk to us and say, hey, what's wrong? Let's actually kill the issue from the root before it gets bigger.
When I hear stories like Gloria's, it's upsetting and it's heartbreaking, but it's not surprising. The culture in the schools and the policies within the schools and how behavior is responded to is what contributes to the system of mass incarceration.